Hey guys, how are you? I am K2 and welcome to Drama YT. Arranged marriage in a historical drama as a subplot is where two people come from different background and fought together against the schemes and conspiracies while also falling in love. This may be the same old cliche, but I am all over it and love to watch any day. So in this very video, I am going to share my top 15 Chinese historical dramas all about arranged marriage. So without further ado, let's get started. General's Lady. A notorious general and an aristocrat's daughter hold each other's hand to spend a lifetime together while protecting what is precious to them. Sinjin grew up as the unfavored daughter of a royal family concubine. The emperor then decrees an arranged marriage for her, choosing General Chu Xiuming, who defends the border. Although she falls in love with her chosen spouse, she finds it difficult to find her place in her new home. Joy of Life. Fan Xian is born in the ancient empire of Shaodansheng with memories of the 21st century. He lives in a rural town as the illegitimate son of the Minister of Finance, raised by his grandmother. His mother Ye Xingmei was once a celebrated inventor and the founder of the Overwatch Department, the country's spy network, but was killed shortly after her son was born. Fanshian has since been protected by a blind martial art expert, Wozo, his mother's bodyguard. He learned martial arts and the art of poison as a child, also assisted by his knowledge from the 21st century. After an assassination attempt, he decides to venture into the capital to find out more about his mysterious mother and why anyone would want to kill him, as he perceives himself to be an unimportant person. He also wants to know why he has memories of a sharply different era. In the capital, he accidentally meets Lin Wanar, the sickly illegitimate daughter of the Princess Royale, and falls in love with her. Unbeknownst to him, she is the woman Emperor chose for him to marry so that he would be the new overseer of the royal treasury, an institute Fanxia's mother established in the palace and currently handled by the Princess Royale. In the capital, however, he gets entangled in the intrigues of the emperor and the two princes, as well as the Overwatch department, leading to him questioning his whole identity and inducing him to find his true life goals, abandoning his original intention to just enjoy life. 10 Miles of Peach Blossom, aka the Eternal Love. The nine-tailed fox Baishian, the youngest daughter of the Fox King, is brought to Kunlun Mountain to become a disciple of the god of war Moyuan. While studying there, a war breaks out that leads to Moyuan sacrificing his life to seal a demon lord. 70,000 years later, Baishian attempts to also sacrifice herself to reseal the demon lord, but is instead thrown to the mortal realm, where she loses all her memories and divine power. Living alone on a remote mountain, Baishian saves Crown Prince Yehua of the Nine Heavens, who is actually her fiancé in heaven and greatly resembles the late Moyuan. The two start falling in love, not knowing the true identity of the other person, and the love tribulation that involves them meeting in three different lives and three different worlds. The story of Yanxi Palace. In the 18th century Beijing, during the 6th year of Xianlong Emperor's reign, Wei Liu enters the Forbidden City as an embroiderer to investigate the truth behind her older sister's rape and murder. Believing that the imperial guard, Fusha Fuheng, is the prime suspect, Ying Liu schemingly approaches his sister, Empress Fusha Rongin, and is transferred to work as a maid. Quickly taking on a liking to Ying Liu's street smart and plucky attitude, the kind-hearted empress teaches her to read and write and then becomes her benefactor, while Fusha Fuheng falls in love with her and supports her investigation. Realizing that Fusha's siblings are innocent of the crime, Ying Liu moves her attention to the other people in the palace in hopes of finding the perpetrator, all while protecting the empress from the harem's conspiracies as she rises through the rank as well. The Rebel Princess. Wang Xuan and Xiao Shi strike a deal for the sake of power. They marry first before falling in love and joining hands to protect their homeland. She is a woman who is no less than any man while he rose from humble beginnings. The imperial family has become rotten to the core. The nobles are lavish with no regard for the people. Princess Wang Xuan and her childhood sweetheart, the third prince, become pawns of a prophecy that states to acquire the tea is to obtain the world. Being pulled into the matters of the court, Wang Xuan is married off by her father to Xiaoxi, who comes from a poor family. On the night of their wedding, Xiaoxi is forced to leave the capital. Wang Xuan is ashamed and discouraged. The Helen prince kidnapped Wang Xuan in order to seek revenge on Xiaoxi. The crisis they face becomes a blessing in disguise for the couple. Wang Xuan is moved and inspired by Shaoxi's wish to bring peace and prosperity to the nation, they fall in love. However, circumstances threaten to destroy them. The Wang and Shi clans are fighting for power, the Empress Dowager schemes to separate husband and wife, the military has committed treason while the Helen clan has raised their flags in rebellion. Wang Xuan puts her life on the line to escort the third prince to safety. She leads an army of men to defend the last stronghold in hopes that Shaoxi can arrive in time with reinforcements. Goodbye, My Princess. A love story revolves around the ninth princess of Western Liang as she journeys to the Central Plains to fulfill a marriage alliance with the Crown Prince. Having received overwhelming love and admiration as the ninth princess, Xiaofeng is forced to live the life that she has known in order to become the Crown Princess. Her husband, the black-bellied Crown Prince, holds the highest position, second only to one, the Emperor. However, the Eastern Palace is the most dangerous place to be. For political reasons, the prince has no choice but to marry the princess from a foreign land. He has his own favored concubine, while she has her own life. Two parallel lines begin to intersect in a place fraught with danger and deadly power play, and buried somewhere deep inside are memories that have yet to resurface. The Sword and the Brocade. Set during the Ming Dynasty, the story revolves around the romance between General Shu Lingyi and concubine's daughter Shi Yang that starts from an arranged marriage. Despite being born with a low status, Shi Yang is extremely assertive and believes that a woman's vision should not be limited to the household. She hopes to rely on her embroidery skill as a ticket to freedom. However, the once esteemed Liu family is in a state of decline. Hoping to save the clan through a marriage alliance, Xin Yang is selected to become the wife of Yongping Duke and Great General Xu Lingyi. Things were not easy for her due to the Shu family's biases towards her. Nonetheless, she manages to win over their trust through her optimism and sincerity. Xu Lingyi also becomes attracted to her various beautiful qualities, such that husband and wife manage to find true love after the marriage. Through Xu Lingyi's support, Xin Yang opens Xiangliang Pavilion to have her own embroidery workshop. Meanwhile, Xu Lingyi experiences many setbacks as he tries to protect his homeland and improve the livelihood of the people by supporting the lifting of a maritime ban. As they face a crisis that could spell the end of the Shu family, Xu Lingyi and Xin Yang continue to support each other through thick and thin. The blooms at Ruyi Pavilion. Furong is the second daughter of the powerful Fu family, but after a terrible mishap and painful illness, she is granted the gift of foresight. Able to look into her own future, she can see great wonders and unspeakable sadness. She sees herself marrying a dashing duke named Shu Shuzin, but she can also see that a tragic and untimely destiny also awaits her. She begins to think that her untimely end may be linked to her relationship with the duke, so she decides to avoid him at all costs. However, destiny will not be so easily dissuaded. A number of dastardly plots threaten to dethrone the royal family and cast the realm into chaos. Eventually, Furong realizes that the only way she can help bring peace to the land is to join forces with the duke and attempt to do whatever it takes to change her fortunes. Princess Silver. A story that follows a princess with amnesia who meets a prince that doesn't want to marry her and how they find a place for themselves despite the complications of the time. Crown Princess Rongli of Western Shi wakes from the coma with no memories at all, but she becomes suspicious of her real identity due to traces of the past. To form a political alliance with Northern Li, she is ordered to marry Prince Wuyu, who refuses her at the door. With the marriage falling through, Rongli then assumes the identity of a tea house owner, Maniao. She begins secretly searching for invaluable books left behind by the Shin family. They were said to bring greatness to the nation. Her path leads her to Wuyu, who falls for her without knowing that she is the same princess he had rejected before. It may already be too late for him to learn the truth, because now she has new orders to marry General Fusha of Northern Lin. Legend of Yunxi. The story follows a lady doctor called Han Yunxi who marries into the royal family and gets caught in the political machinations in the palace while she falls into a romance with her husband. The story takes place during a chaotic time when the land has split into three kingdoms: Tianning, Western Zhou, and Northern Li. The Emperor of Tianning is cunning and distrustful and fears his own subordinate Long Fei. To dampen his spirits, the king arranges for Long Fei to marry to an ugly woman named Han Yunxi. Han Yunxi is a kind and talented woman who comes from a medical family and is adept with poisons. She is also forced into obeying the decree of the king and becomes a royal consort in name only. However, circumstances allow her to show off her skills time and again, winning the admiration of Long Fei. At the same time, she also forms a friendship with Gushi Xiao, the master of Yaogui Valley. The Sleepless Princess. An unfavored princess with insomnia and a stone-faced general investigating a suspicious death were fated to meet, thus igniting a sweet and heart-wrenching romance. Ninth Princess Chuyo has experienced long-term insomnia escaping from a childhood accident. She and her younger brother have depended upon each other all their lives. Under the wrong circumstances, Yue waits the famous general Shu Yao. When Yao learns of the suspicious events that occurred surrounding the death of his older brother, Yue joins forces with him to uncover the truth. Love by Hypnotic. A diplomatic marriage decreed, Shui's princess Ling Wei is off the neighboring state of Beishuan to wed Li Xian Prince Zi. The highly spirited Xian meets the free-spirited Mingwei, resulting in a poor first impression. Reluctant to get married, the two antagonize each other in hopes one of them will break off the engagement. While hypnotizing Xian, Mingwei causes lost memories to resurface. Curious about the trigger of his amnesia, Xian suggests a marriage of convenience, providing Mingwei help to regain his memory. Xian's brother Li Shun would rather prefer that those memories remain in the past, as they would only impede his schemes of becoming the crown prince. Which brother will make the throne his own? The Song of Glory. Set in the Liu Song dynasty, with powerful aristocrats clamoring for power, the people of Liu Song Empire have succumbed to ensuing chaos. Desperate to bring peace to his crumbling nation, the young emperor Liu Yikang, son of Emperor Wu of Liu Song, the founder of Liu Song dynasty, is willing to do whatever it takes to save his people. But the road before him will not be easy. With most of the country's powerful families plotting against him, Yikang's list of allies is growing dangerously thin. Knowing the only way to strengthen his position is to ally himself with a mighty family, Yikang then agrees to an alliance through marriage with the powerful Shen family, a family with deep military roots. The Shen family can provide the strength Yikang needs to enact the reform necessary to oust the aristocrats bent on destroying the nation. With the families brilliant and beautiful Shen Lige by his side, the two begin the arduous task of reformation. Facing off against one of the nation's most powerful and corrupt clans, Yikang and Lige must use every ounce of their wits and strength to defeat their foes. But peace doesn't come without a price, and the cost of this battle is tremendous. In the midst of so much heartache and despair, can this noble couple find a way to heal the wounds of broken nation and at the same time mend the wounds of their own broken hearts? Truth or Dare, a story that follows two couples who mistakenly find themselves in a marriage they never expected and gradually grow in love and trust over time. The cheerful and clever Xiao Wanzi grew up as a street performer with her dad selling their special skill of breaking a big stone on the chest. An unexpected encounter utterly changes Xiao Wanzi's life. Xiao Wanzi, who neither knew how to read nor write, suddenly finds herself becoming a princess. Opposed to marrying the princess, Mei Shanxiao pushes Xiao Wanzi away in hopes that she would willingly retreat. Meanwhile, the king has arranged a marriage for Lu Yingyao, the daughter of the ninth prince. However, bandit Xiao Baoye mistakenly takes her as his wife. The Princess Wei Young. The northern Wei dynasty was obliterated one night, leaving behind the kind-hearted princess Feng Xinar as an orphan. Although she escapes death, she accidentally enters her enemy's territory and she assumes the identity of Li Wei Young, the daughter of the prime minister. She suffers many hardships but eventually utilizes her wisdom and sense of justice to become a very powerful woman, as well as gaining a beautiful romance along the journey. So that was it guys, the video ends here. I hope you have liked this video. If you have watched the video till here, just give this video a like and do subscribe to dramayt. And yet, you guys have not followed me on the Instagram handle, do follow me there as well. The Insta handle is at the rate Nachiketa555. I will see you later. As always, love, peace, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.